What's going on, everyone? This is Badass Reviewer and I'm back with another review. This time I'm taking a look at the Avengers 3 3/4 inch Infinite Series Ant-Man. This has been a long-awaited figure for the Marvel Universe line that everyone's really been pumped to get because Ant-Man is a really popular character and, well, I wouldn't say really popular, but I figure that any figure that can shapeshift and is a part of the Avengers is kind of a popular character in some way, shape, or form. This guy is probably going to be the hardest one to find out of the wave by far. So luckily I was able to pick him up pretty easily. I ended up just getting this figure because he's really the only one I cared to get. I don't really care too much for these Marvel Universe figures just because you know, I've explained before, they're just not worth it to me and they seem kind of cheap and whatnot. But this figure actually is really nice. I mean, he has really good articulation, he has a very good paint job, and you know, now that we have this 3 3/4 inch version of him, we can you know, make it look like he's shape-shifting and stuff like that, so that's really cool. I do have one complaint, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, like I said before, he's got a really nice paint. He's got the nice red. I feel like it's a little too dark though, and they didn't really keep the consistency too well, but it still looks pretty nice. I feel like they should have kind of lightened up on the red a little bit, because it's like, it's all red and then they got some like really heavily shading going on here, so it almost looks like he's a little bit blacker. He looks darker, I guess. But at least they put some shading in. I just wish it wasn't so heavily in there, you know. On the upper part of the thighs here, it doesn't really come down all the way to his legs. Like, it doesn't match up here as much. But, you know, he still looks good. Just kind of needed to tone down a little bit on the shading, but at least they gave us some. But who knows? Some people will probably find that kind of annoying. It's not bad, but it could have been done a little bit better. He is missing the little H on his belt, which is weird because, whoops, wrong one. I lost the tiny little Ant-Man. Here he is. Which is weird because the tiny little Ant-Man that he does come with has the H on his belt, but this one doesn't, so not really sure. And here's the accessory for Ant-Man. It is his Ant-Man size version of him, which we'll do a size comparison of all the Ant-Mans in a little bit. So that's kind of unfortunate that they didn't put the H right there. I mean, it's a really simple thing they could have done. All they had to do was paint it on, so that's kind of, it kind of sucks, but oh well. The next thing I don't really care, like, the helmet is really nicely sculpted. It looks good. Although it doesn't really match the helmet of this Ant-Man here, or this Ant-Man, which is also Marvel Universe. It came with Yellow Jacket, and it doesn't match the Marvel Legends Ant-Man. And it's not too big of a deal, but at the same time, they didn't add the little antennas here either. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it's kind of like, it kind of screws up the whole like shape-shifting thing, because he should have antennas right here, and the mask doesn't entirely match up with everyone else's. I mean, it does look about the same, but there's minor differences in this mouth area here. So I guess that's kind of a bummer to me, because it kind of lacks the consistency of how all the other ones look. But you know, it's overlooked. I guess you can overlook it, but you know, if you want like accuracy, and you know, I don't know how you entirely mess that up, but you do. But it's not too big of a deal, I guess. At least we got this figure. But yeah, the head sculpt, like I said, nicely done. You can see his eyes are painted in there, and you can see his mouth and nose, so that's really nice. Like I said, the helmet is nicely painted and sculpted. It's just they're missing the antennas, and the mouthpiece is a little bit different from the typical Ant-Man that the typical Ant-Man helmet. He's got the black going down his chest to his belt. Same with on the back. He's got the blue painted gloves open hand on this side, fist on this side, which is fine with me. He's got the blue painted shorts, which look good, and he's got the blue painted boots. So not too much else to say about that. So let's go over articulation real fast. His head can rotate 360 degrees. He can't really look up and down, like it kind of moves, but not too much, so not a whole lot of up and down movement there. His arms can go in and out, rotate 360 degrees. He's got a bicep swivel, single joint in the elbow, gets about 90-degree angle. He rotates at the wrist, no hinge in the wrist unfortunately, but that's okay. He's got this diaphragm joint, which actually works pretty good. He can get a good enough crunch out of it and a good enough lean back, so that's nice. And they paint it up all the way up to the end of the joint, so that way it looks consistent. It doesn't just run out weirdly. His legs can go forward and a little bit back. They can go out about that far, but at some point they're gonna, like, this is about as far as they'll go before they kind of start reaching the limit. He's got an upper thigh swivel. He's got double jointed knees, which is nice. Rotation in the boot, as well as a ankle rocker or pivot, whatever you want to call it. I call it a rocker, and it goes up and down, so that's what it does there. So overall, if you really like Ant-Man, and you already collected like all the other Ant-Man things that would go good with the Marvel Legends and such, we'll do a little size comparison real fast. It's gonna be kind of hard to do just because of you know, camera size and stuff. But here is the Giant Man, Ant-Man, the Ant-Man that came with the Yellow Jacket figure, the Ant-Man that came with the Marvel Universe, this Marvel Universe figure, and then if you collected the HeroClix version of Ant-Man, which is this one here, it gives you kind of a good scale. So we're gonna zoom out, and here's the rest of all the crap I got sitting around. So Ant-Man's here, there's Giant Man, so that looks pretty good. Here's the Marvel Legends Ant-Man. Here's the Marvel Universe version of him, or the one that came with the Yellow Jacket. Here's the one that came with the Ant-Man figure, and this is the HeroClix. So really nice that we finally got this guy, because now we can kind of get some more shape-shifting going. I know that there's the Marvel Legends Goliath version, which I don't actually have, but he would be a little bit smaller than this guy, and quite a little bit bigger than this guy. I'm not entirely sure how big he is, but you can see that if you've been, you know, kind of keeping up with all these different little Ant-Man figures, then it's gonna look pretty good. So that's really nice that we finally got this guy, and I was really pumped to get him because I actually like Ant-Man quite a bit. So I'm happy that Hasbro finally got him out. But that's my review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you'll find this figure. I picked it up online by itself, so you can probably try and go there. Otherwise, I would just check Target whenever you can, and Toys R Us, but Target's usually the best bet. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for more video reviews, and check out my other reviews that I've already done. And please comment, rate, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.